Hey guys, welcome to Everything Football, where we talk everything football from the NFL, the NCAA, the AAF, the XFL, and the CFL. In today's video, we're going to be going over the AAF Week 3 preview and what I think the keys to these games are, and all that's coming up next. We're going to start off with the first game in the Salt Lake Stallions versus the Arizona Hotshots, starting with Salt Lake. Salt Lake's three keys, the first one being no turnovers. They've had a problem the last 2 weeks turning over the ball. They had a costly turnover in the red zone and another turnover on a punt return last week that led to a touchdown. In the first week, they did throw 2 interceptions. So, again, no turnovers. If they can limit turnovers and not give the other team a chance to score or lose the chance to score on their side and have those point flips, then they will have a good chance in this game. The other one being ball control. They want to run the clock, control the time of possession. If they can control the time of possession, run the ball, all of that stuff, then I think they will have a good chance of winning this game. Limit the times Arizona's offense can be on the field and really press them to make plays. The last one is going to be control Wolford. I think last week you saw what Memphis did in the first half, really keeping Wolford inside the pocket. If they can do that, if they can maintain him, keep him in the pocket, not let him scramble out and make plays on his feet, which is something that he likes to do, maybe prefers to do. He's not the best pocket passer, so if they can maintain that and keep him inside the pocket, I believe that Salt Lake Stallions will have a good shot at winning this game. With the Arizona's three keys, the first one being beat them over top. It's what they did in the first game. They really want to use their speed and really spread that defense out and beat them over top. Expect Salt Lake to really have a blanket coverage. Try not to let that happen. So they'll probably start off with doing some short routes, short completions to kind of bring that coverage up. And then once that coverage is brought up, they'll start beating them over top. The next one is going to be the line of scrimmage. They want to win the line of scrimmage. That's offensive line play versus defensive line. Carter Schultz had a great week last week. He's had a great season so far. He's probably one of the best pass rushers in this league. If he has a good game, it's not going to be good for the Hotshots. So they want to control the line of scrimmage, limit the times that the Stallions defensive line can get a good pass rush on John Wolford, and if they can do that, expect them to have a very explosive offensive game. And then the last one being on defense, they want to force mistakes. It's what they did in the first game, forcing 2 picks. But if they can disguise some coverages, make the quarterback guess some, and then even strip the ball from these running backs, they should have a good chance of winning this game. They want to force these turnovers, force these bad plays, force these incompletions. And in doing that, I believe that the Arizona Hotshots, again, will probably have a solid game if they follow those three. Out of these two teams, in my opinion, I think the Arizona Hotshots will win by 6. It's going to be closer than last time because Salt Lake has some video on how to beat Arizona. But at the same time, Arizona has a very explosive offense, and I expect them to use that in this game. So again, Arizona by 6. Now moving on to the Memphis versus the Orlando Apollos game. Their first key in the game for Memphis is going to be run the ball. They're going to need to control this clock, keep the Apollos offense off the field. And that's the way they're going to win this one, is definitely controlling the clock, keeping the offense off the field, giving the ball to Stacy, the first 100-yard rusher in league history. Moving on, the next one's going to be forced turnovers. It's something they did pretty decently last week that kept them in the game. They need to force these turnovers and really make Garrett Gilbert do something he hasn't done yet, which is turn the ball over, maybe make bad passing decisions, all of that stuff. If they can do that, then I think that Memphis might put themselves in a position to be in the game in the fourth quarter. And then the final one is prevent the big play on defense. It's something that the Apollos offense has thrived in, is creating these big plays, these deep passes. And that's something that Memphis is going to have to do. Their defense is very big, very physical. It's something that they pride themselves on as a team, is being big and physical. So I think that if they can prevent these big plays, stay over top, and beat and really be a physical defense like they have been, I think that this team will be in a good position to be in the game in the fourth quarter. And I think as Memphis being 0-2, playing against the best team in the league right now, that is all you can ask for in the going into the fourth quarter, being in the game. With the Apollos, their first key is make Hackenberg beat you. Don't let them beat you with the run game. Make Hackenberg beat you with his arm. If Memphis game ends up being where Hackenberg is throwing the ball on you, I think you can live with that as the Apollos. You know that he's not a super elite passer in this league, so if he has to beat you with his arm, I think you're in a good position. The next one being explosive plays. It's something they've done really well so far. Something that I expect them to do well going forward is these deep explosive plays in the passing game. Garrett Gilbert is by far the best passer in the league right now, really able to stretch defenses down the field. So if they can use their trio or their duo of really good deep ball receivers in Jalen Marshall and Charles Johnson and even Dearness Johnson, I think they'll be very well off with these deep plays, making them down the field. And then the final one is just play Apollo football. It's pretty simple. There's not a lot to this for the Apollos. I think it's pretty overwhelmingly in their favor. If they just stick to their game plan, something that they've done for the last 2 weeks, play Apollo football with explosive offense, high-scoring offense, and this opportunistic, tough, gritty defense, especially in the fourth quarter, I think that they'll be okay. It's not something that you should be – that this isn't something that they need to think a lot about because this game is somewhere where they should win. The spread is like 15.5 points for the Apollos. I do think the Apollos will cover the spread. I think they might win by more. I just think they overmatched this Memphis team by a lot. So I'm going to say Apollos by 16. Next is going to be the San Diego versus San Antonio game. Starting off with San Diego's 3 keys. The first one's going to be Gardner. They want to feed him the ball. Really, it's probably their best offensive player. If they can give him the ball, let him run down the San Antonio Commanders' throats. He had a lot of good runs for about over 10 yards against San Antonio the first match. So they should really build off that and use that as a strength moving forward. The next one's going to be no turnovers. What killed them in the first game was I think they threw 4 interceptions. If they can limit those turnovers, not necessarily throw no turnovers. If they throw 1 pick, they'll be in a better position than they were in the first game. So if they can limit those turnovers and do well and control the football and not give San Antonio extra possessions to score, I think they will be in a good position. And the last one is going to be get after the quarterback on defense. They did it pretty well in the first game. They want to bring pressure. They want to have a solid pass rush coming. If they can get after the quarterback on defense, force Logan Woodside to make mistakes, and he has shown that he can make mistakes. They can force those things. They'll be in a good position to win this game. The next one for San Antonio, the first one's going to be test the corners. It's something they did in the first game really well. They were throwing these deep outside passes, testing those cornerbacks. If they can do this again with their trio of really good wide receivers, maybe even 4 really good wide receivers, I think they'll be in a good position to win. Woodside has shown that he likes to throw the deep ball. He likes to throw the ball up and let his receivers go make plays. It's something that you like in quarterbacks per se. So that's something that they definitely need to do this game. The next one, again, for this team is also going to be no turnovers. Logan Woodside has only thrown one touchdown to 3 interceptions. He didn't only turn the ball over once last week, but it was a pick 6. So he can't have any costly turnovers. They really don't want any turnovers at all. If they can play a good game, Logan Woodside doesn't have to try to force the ball in anywhere, then I think they will be in a good position to win this game. And the final one is stuff the run. This is a big deal. You really don't want Gardner to have an explosive day like he had the last time, especially last week. So if the front 7 can do what they did last week for the better part of the game and stuff that run game, I think they'll be in a good position to win. I actually like San Antonio in this game. I'm going to say San Antonio by 3. It's going to be a close game again. Last game it was a close game. So again, San Antonio by 3. If either team wins, I wouldn't be surprised. It's going to be a close game. San Diego does have the home field advantage. So I'm going to say, again, San Antonio by 3. And finally, it's going to be the Birmingham versus Atlanta game in Atlanta. The first key for Atlanta is going to be better quarterback play. Overall, they just need to have better quarterback play from either Sims or whoever gets the start. It's probably going to be Sims again. They don't need to turn over the ball. They need to score touchdowns. Really, it's just better quarterback play overall. This one's pretty simple, I think. It's self-explanatory. Better quarterback play. The final one is going to be blocking. The Iron have a really good defense overall, pass rush, secondary, all of that stuff. So this Atlanta O-line, which I think is weak, needs to have a good blocking day. They need to be able to hold off the pass rush, whether it be 5-man blitz or four-man rush. They need to be able to hold off the pass rush and give Sims time to make the right decision. Make sure that he doesn't feel pressure. He's shown that he doesn't do well under pressure. So if they can do that, they'll be good. Also, feed the ball to Akram Wadley. That would be another thing, although that's not one of the 3 ones. And the final one is going to be get after Perez. Perez isn't a super athletic quarterback. He's shown the ability to get out on the run and throw the ball, but he hasn't done super well. So you want to get after Perez, get him out of the pocket, force him to try and run around and make plays. And if you can force him to try and run around and make plays, I think your defense will be in a good position. The final one for the first one for Birmingham is going to be no mistakes. They don't want to have any turnovers. They don't want to have any fumbles, any of that stuff. They want to play a clean game. If they can play a clean game, they'll be in a good position to win. Atlanta isn't necessarily a groundbreaking, as far as talent or skill or the product they put on the field. So if they can go out and don't make mistakes, then I think Birmingham will be in a good position. The next one will be forced turnovers. They want to play to the strength that other teams have played to, and they want Matt Sims to throw them the ball, and they want to force fumbles and all that stuff. They've already done really well with this. They're really good at forcing turnovers, whether it was against Hackenberg, and then last week against Austin Allen, they forced Matt Ossie out of a fumble. They had forced that fumble on a punt. So they can force turnovers. This team will be in a very good position. This is probably one of the top 2 defenses in the league, so I don't expect them to have a problem with this. They've already done really well with this so far. So again, if they can do that, they'll be in a good position. The final one is going to be catch the ball. It's pretty simple. They have had a terrible streak in these first 2 games of not catching these balls that Luis Perez is giving them. Luis Perez is doing a really good job at throwing the football, and his receivers are doing a really good job at dropping the football. So something that you don't want your team to be good at drops. So if they can catch the ball, I expect the Birmingham Iron to win this handily. So I'm going to say Birmingham Iron by 12, and that is going to be my final prediction for this week, guys. Well, that sums up the preview, guys. Thank you for watching the video. I do have a question before you guys go. My question is, who do you think will win these matchups this week? Please comment down below the 4 teams you think will win. This has actually been, so far, really cool, guys. These games have been really nice, really cool to watch. It's good quality football, and I expect the quality to increase this week and going forward as these teams have more time practicing with each other and getting to know what they're good at. Other than that, guys, just thank you for watching the video. Thank you for clicking on it. If you liked the video, please press like. And if you're new, please subscribe, guys. I appreciate all of it. Thank you again for watching, and I'm out.